I'm sorry, I can't provide you a title. It goes against OpenAI's use policy.
Dumb. I love it. It's kind of, I like,
Yep, it's hilarious.
I love it.
Everybody's saying, AI is going to take over the world and make life easier. We won't have to work anymore, but it just seems to be making the world a weirder place. The Bitcoin ETF went out, and right before that happened, the SEC Twitter was hacked.
My question would be, why is the SEC using Twitter?
Yeah, that's their, or why would they use it for any official announcement? Like,
what I'm saying is they should not do that.
Well,
the government should not be using something like Twitter.
Well, I don't think anybody should be using Twitter, but that's for other reasons.
If you want information from a government agency, like I would think they should have like either,
hello, how the tech are you? I am historian Matt. I'm a co-producer here and one of the hosts on this show. How the tech are you? And we just jump into some stories because I got some interesting stuff this time. So my first story is titled, I'm sorry, I can't provide you a title. It goes against OpenAI's use policy. And what is up with that weird intro? It's basically all over Amazon, and it actually shows up in some other places, but it's really obvious on Amazon. There's like items that are posted with titles with some version of, I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill your request. It goes against OpenAI use policy. Some other versions are, sorry, I can't generate a response to that request. Sorry, I can't provide information, the information you're looking for. And in one case, kind of weird one where it ended with, or excuse is, it encourages unethical behavior. And I'm very curious to know which one is that one was. I don't know what that was linked to for the actual item, but basically what's happening is people are trying to use LLMs to generate product names and descriptions, and this is causing a problem. Like they're doing the generation, but they're not actually looking at what they generated. And so they're just like copying, pasting it over and putting it into their title or description. And it's just all over Amazon. Amazon does not have a policy against using LLMs to generate content like that. And in fact, Amazon provides its own AI tool to do that. It doesn't look like most of these don't seem to be coming from Amazon's tool. They seem to be OpenAI, somebody using a separate outside LLM to generate. Basically, obviously, scammers are not taking time to actually fix their problems here. What do you guys think? Do you have any ideas on what's going on, or just a funny thing going on in AI land?
My guess is like the reason that they're not even looking at it is because this is like there's some script to just like add listings to Amazon.
It's like fully automated or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's people who are going to probably look at this and be like, aha, why are those chairs $2,000? They must be selling children. But that's different. It's different.
Yeah, that's a bit different.
I don't know. I don't think
that's a different show, Dave.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to, I don't think there's much. I mean, it's dumb. I love it. It's kind of, I like.
Yep, it's hilarious.
I love it. I love that Amazon hasn't like just removed these listings either.
I think they have now. I tried to look up some of these and I couldn't find any. So they've probably removed them by now.
The specific ones linked in the article have been removed. And they said it was removed by the time the article came up, or they posted the article anyways. But they said they were finding others. So I don't know. Did you do the searches or did you just look for the specific?
I searched for like that exact phrase and I couldn't find anything, but I don't know. It seems like there's multiple versions of that phrase. So maybe I just couldn't find that exact one. But if I changed the wording a little bit, it might.
Yeah, they may be removing these specific wordings, but other ones are.
It's amazing
as they figure it out.
It's amazing. I think it's very funny. I would have added those things to my wish list.
Yep.
Well,
I'd love to get a sorry I can't generate a response to that request.
Everybody's saying AI is going to take over the world and make life easier. We won't have to work anymore, but it just seems to be making the world a weirder place.
I mean, what if every item on Amazon had this title? It would just make shopping really hard.
Yeah, that's true.
I dig it. Perfect.
All right, what else you got, Matt?
Next one. By my mouse. Here we go. So the next one is a big story. Basically, the Bitcoin ETF went out, and right before that happened, the SEC Twitter was hacked. So talking about the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, their Twitter account was hacked, and it was a couple days before they were actually supposed to announce anything on the Bitcoin ETFs. And whoever hacked the account posted, "Hey, we approve all the Bitcoin ETFs." So there was a lot of confusion there because some people were saying, trying to figure out how it was hacked or what happened. Of course, this announcement spiked the price of Bitcoin for a very short time, and the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, had to post a correction on his own Twitter account, make sure everybody knows that it was being hacked. So the hack seemed to, after some research, the hack seemed to have come from somebody's compromised phone number that was associated with the account. So I'm guessing it was like an SMS attack where they were getting their two-factor through SMS, which if you've been around security people much or heard about this, two-factor authentication, you probably know that is not secure. It's not very secure anymore. But
it is the least secure two-factor.
It's the least secure two-factor authentication right now. We can talk a little bit more about that and better ways of doing it. But in sort of a twist of irony, later the same week, the SEC really did approve all of the Bitcoin ETFs. So they had to go back and post it again, and then they weren't hacked the second time. So what do you guys think? Are you at all surprised that something like this happened? More?
My question would be, why is the SEC using Twitter?
Yeah, that's or why would they use it for any official announcement? Like, why wouldn't?
Yeah. Well, they don't. That's the thing. It's not an official announcement. It's just something they can use to post stuff and get like the word out for things. So they do
why even have
press release, and then they would retweet it. Like they have their own, I don't know, what a social media person posted on Twitter, but that was hacked. And if you didn't know any better, if that's the only way you get your information is through Twitter, then you wouldn't have known better.
I guess maybe like I'm just thinking they should do something that's less prone to being, that's like not controlled by someone else. Like have an RSS feed or something.
I mean, they have a
like
website.
That.
Yeah. I think.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of government agencies that use Twitter
and they shouldn't
for getting messages out, various things.
That's what I'm saying is they should not do that. What I'm saying is they should not do that. The government should not be using something like Twitter.
Well, I don't think anybody should be using Twitter, but that's for other reasons.
Right. And it before, like it was a way for the government to get reliable information out to people a lot of times, like during disasters or whatever. But now I would say that no. They shouldn't be using it. They should probably just remove their accounts because you could just go on there and buy a check mark and impersonate one of these government agencies. So if the government's just like, well, none of the government agencies are actually on Twitter, so don't believe anything you see from a government agency on Twitter. Bye. Yeah, like if you want information from a government agency, like I would think they should have like either just RSS feeds or like maybe like an activity pub server that they control. Something like Mastodon or Kbin or. I mean, the RSS is easy though too because you don't even need anything. You just go to their website and you don't even know there's RSS there. You just read the blog. You just read it. Even if the blogs are just short. It's like if there's an earthquake, right? And like the county is just like on the blog. They're like they just write a real quick update on something going on, and that's on the blog. You just read it. Like you just read all the blog entries for the last day to figure out what's going on with an earthquake or whatever it would be.
Yeah. But and something like an RSS feed could be like duplicated in other places, and then you'd have one source of truth that if you see something on some other place and you go, that doesn't look right, you can go back to their RSS feed to see, is that true? Whereas if the source of truth is Twitter, it's not like you can double check that information. If Elon Musk decides to fuck around with SEC's Twitter account, then like he could do that.
I also want to point out that on this channel, we support trans people and everything, but the only dead name we use is Twitter.
Right. Well, that's like, to be fair, corporations are not people.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yep.
So everybody still calls it Twitter. That's just the name of it. I'm sorry. Like the logo's ugly.
Most people, I've heard a few people, particularly like companies of some sort or big news organizations, have started to call it X or something.
Every time I've seen it called X, it's always X, formerly Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, like when Prince turned himself into a symbol, people would call him the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to How the Tech Are You? We do this show every week, and we put it out into 3 segments on YouTube, and we also put it out as a podcast. If you'd like that you can find that at echoplexmedia.com, along with all our other shows. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll have a recommended video here on the screen for you to check out next.